Right hand by Hopkins, countered with a right hand.
So it still seems to be a puzzle they both need to figure out.
As controlled as this pace is, Shumenov, there's the nice overhand right from Hopkins. Shumenov.
Methodical third round. Now Hopkins delivers the right uppercut, goes downstairs with a left hook, then the up jab. Jab by Hopkins. Oh, Shumenov eats that.
Shumenov will land a punch, not a legal punch, but then he pauses.
We saw Hopkins do that to Karl Murat.
Exactly, and here comes Hopkins.
Daniel, we've passed the 1/4 mark of this fight scheduled for 12, and Shumenov getting busier, and Hopkins countering with the right hand. Give us your assessment. Counter right hand. There's Shumenov tagging Hopkins with a right hand as we look at the show stats. Hopkins swimming in and catching Shumenov. 30 seconds left in the 4th round. Hopkins sticking out his tongue and just drawing the ire and the attack.
That finally a combination from Shumenov. That's what he needs to do. He's not throwing any combinations. And there's a lead right hand that will get in. And, you know, I thought this is the distraction. You know, Bernard Hopkins looking for any way to get him off. Pretty interesting statistic as well.
Indeed.
You know, they talked about Nazim. Oh, nice hook by Shumenov. Nazim Richardson worked with Shumenov briefly.
Trained in various forms of martial arts, karate, taekwondo, eats that right hand, and a couple of lefts from Hopkins. You're enjoying the action wherever you may be watching on Showtime as Hopkins launches another right hand. 5 rounds have elapsed here between Hopkins and Shumenov with a flurry to end the round.
Talking to Hopkins, but not landing much.
Oh, counter right cross there by Hopkins. Minute gone. Minute remaining in the 6th. There's a nice right hand. Hopkins head by Shumenov. Hopkins going downstairs with a jab. There's a straight right connects by Hopkins. Another right hand. So Hopkins pot-shotting. There's a 1-2 combination. Now Hopkins putting on a show, switching stances momentarily. Fires off the piston-like right hand. Lead right again.
Well, Shumenov did sneak in that left hand.
But even still, he's landing, but he hasn't landed anything that will allow him to win this round.
Lead left hook.
This fight is that Shumenov has thrown maybe 1 or 2 combinations in this whole fight. Only single punches.
Right cross and the jab by Hopkins. Hot shotting, and there's another right cross. Under a minute left in the 8th, and Shumenov. Good 1-2. Get a lot more active, and here he is starting to do so, but it's Hopkins continuing to counter.
There's been a subtle shift in that Shumenov at least is getting active, but he's taking punches like that.
Witnessing one of the reasons that at 49, Bernard Hopkins has been as successful as he has. 9 rounds gone here in Washington. A right and a left by Hopkins, putting a signature exclamation point on that round.
Counter punches often, like that one. Sometimes lead right hands. There's one. Again, a lead right hand. They've come in a variety of ways. There he sets it up with the jab and gets the right hand in. And then finally, again, a lead right hand in which Shumenov's low left allows him to be hit. And Bernard Hopkins control of this fight. Nothing landing by Shumenov, and Hopkins countering beautifully.
And that has to be so frustrating for a fighter. You have a guy here landing.
There's a right hand. Counter rights by Hopkins. Daniel.
Shumenov is, oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. Shumenov's using the jab better now.
Lead left hand by Hopkins. Right hand drops Shumenov.
Trying to set another trap to land another overhand right.
And there's a stiff jab by Hopkins. There's a left hook, and Shumenov holding on. Hopkins digging away at the body. A minute left in the first of our 2 championship rounds. Another lead left.
Sets things up. And the right hand, which has landed all night over the low left hand of Shumenov. Shumenov again, in this case, slipping the right hand and landing a very good counter left hook.
His experience, he knows every trick in the book, physical and mental. And he continues to show that he can still outbox and outfox. Hopkins continues to put the pressure, and now the front.
I'm sitting here, I'm watching this great man, and he's giving me chills throughout my body. He's so inspirational.
Football, some others, but this is extraordinary. And let me mention Archie Moore.
Bernard, and yes, he just may be the alien, Hopkins. The crowd on its feet.
Bernard, the alien Hopkins.
So Bernard Hopkins has done it at the age of 49, becoming the oldest man